man's ready to kill people. I'll turn him into a flea, and then I'll put the flea in a box, and then I'll put that box in a bigger box, and then mail it to myself, where I will smash it with a hammer. It's brilliant! I love Yzma. Yzma's so funny. Alright, so now we can go back to here so we can talk to Mid. Alright, Mid, we need to talk to you.
We're seeing troops amassing at every corner.
Let's go talk to Mid and see what Mid is doing.
I think Mid might need some help.
Tidying up the workshop? What are you talking about? It looks fine to me.
Come up with something soon. All right, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
Displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen.
Of course, it's always the
Enterprise.
It's not the Starship Enterprise. It's just the Enterprise.
Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts meching. The stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
Yes, I've only been taking down dominants and primals and
Luckily,
crystals.
you don't need to.
But here's a shopping list for you. RPGs never change. It's so funny that every single time they're just like, yeah, no, I know you're busy saving the world, but if you could go run this to the grocery, that'd be great. You need mundane shit to do, you Godslayer. You're right. Oh, Blackthorn.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
I'm busy.
Hell with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Here are the designs for you.
Krieger's Tates.
Ryan, you being a human and
Well,
give you something that
what the
isn't
hell you
killing
want
everything
this
with
for,
misfortune
but
and
I can make it.
pretty much.
Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin-Otto in here, will ya?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, hasn't she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying.
Some point need to remind you,
Well,
the player, that you and your
we'll
character
get
are
it
simply
figured
no weapon to be
One of
pointed
us
at the
should
next
probably
big
give you an
powerful
anchor, to
thing,
be
even
fair.
if it's just pretty
And the other
much,
can go
because I
and
mean,
get the
you're
rest
completely
from the
right.
supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where. We can get this
Infiltrate the
over with.
dealer, find the supplier. We'll prioritize it, I suppose. Alright. Huh. Well, just gotta talk to him again.
You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these two lucky souls is going with you?
You know, Gav, you get to go out to the Velcroy. Otto, you're coming with me.
Otto, you're with me.
All right, then. Where do we find this Stardust, and how will we know it when we see it?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
And I'm guessing you'll be needing sackloads of the stuff. Might be worth our importers and the Dalimil Inn. I'll head down there. See about finding us a wagon.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
Are you talking about, like, Game of the Year nominees,
I'll
Pebbles?
go and see the supplier.
If that's what you're talking about, then yes, I have.
Fleece you, eh?
He wouldn't do that. He's Blackthorn's mate. Isn't he?
I've seen all the nominees for it. I'm not gonna try and be, you know, well, what's the word? Oh, what's the freaking word? I'm not trying to be biased. But I don't think Final Fantasy 16 will win it. Even though I love this game, I don't think it has a chance of winning. The only games I think, honestly, have a chance of winning Game of the Year, truly, is Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. Those are my two picks.
I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
And what do you think could win if Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't nominated?
Come to claim your just desserts.
That's honestly a good question, Pebbles.
All yours.
So Pebbles, you honestly think that Baldur's Gate 3 will win over Alan Wake? You think Baldur's Gate is just gonna take it? Unless judges won't vote for Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, it's fair. From seeing the fan outcry for how well received Alan Wake has been, I truly believe that it would be a very difficult decision between Alan Wake 2 as well as Baldur's Gate 3 to see who would win actual Game of the Year. Now, if I had my choice, I would rather, because I'm not that much of a horror enthusiast. I'm sorry, I'm not. But I personally like Baldur's Gate, but I do understand, and I can get behind why people love Alan Wake so much. Just from watching Stuffy play it and seeing like the scenes and everything, Alan Wake was tremendous. Oh yeah, the freaking nominees are absolutely phenomenal this year.
Faster.
So you'd be shocked if anything other than Baldur's Gate actually won.
Be safe.
What are the nominees? Never really pay attention.
Oh, Clive. I
Oh,
had a
Otto.
quick scout about, and I reckon this area's our best bet. Seems Blackthorn's the only one who thinks smithing with his Stardust stuff's a good idea. It's just lying here, waiting for any old fool to fill his boots.
But unlike any old fool, you thought to bring a wagon.
Well spotted. Now get filling.
I wouldn't say you forced me to, Stuffy. You asked me to watch it, and I watched it. Like, I thought it was actually vastly entertaining. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, RE4, and Remake and Mario Wonder. Yeah, I don't think Mario Wonder has a prayer to get it. I don't think RE4 has a chance either.
So this is Stardust.
But again, I think, honestly, my top 3 for I wouldn't be upset if this game won it or not, would probably be Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and after that, it'd be a little bit tough for me to decide between Tears of the Kingdom and Spider-Man 2. Because everyone is ranting and raving about Spider-Man 2 of how good it was. I haven't played it that much, but from what I've seen of it, it looks phenomenal and it plays phenomenally. But those, I think, would be, like, the best. I haven't seen anything about Spider-Man 2, but people have only said good things about it. I watched someone play it, and it actually looks phenomenal. Tears of the Kingdom, I think, would do well. Unfortunately, compared to the rest of the games that came out this year, Pika, Tears of the Kingdom doesn't have a prayer. It doesn't have a prayer. Compared to everything else, Tears of the Kingdom does not have a prayer in winning, unfortunately. I tried to Skyrim it. Oh, there it is. I wouldn't be surprised too if it won, but people kind of forgot about it fast.
Let's see how Otto's getting on.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild had more hype about it. I will say for me, just playing Tears of the Kingdom when Stuffy and I have, like, you know, our date days and we just kind of go back and forth and playing games on our big screen TV. Tears of the Kingdom is a lot more challenging, and the enemies are, for some reason, way stronger. Only playing the Tears of the Kingdom of all the games mentioned. I mean, that's fair.
Enough. I hope.
More than me. Put it all together and I can't see Blackthorn complaining. Much.
Here, Clive.
Lore-wise, the strength of the monsters makes sense. I mean, true. I mean, I think the gameplay in Tears of the Kingdom looks more fun than Breath of the Wild. It is. It definitely is a lot more fun. It's a lot more fluid than what it was in Breath of the Wild. There's still a lot of jankiness to it, though, that I thought they would have fixed.
Sid would be proud.
Of what?
I was excited too, Pebbles, believe me. I was excited.
The way you've carried on what he started. When we first met, I had you down as a spoilt little puppy who enjoyed nothing more than biting the hand that fed you. But 5 years on, you're the one doing the feeding. So thanks for proving me wrong.
You weren't wrong. But I changed. Thanks to Sid. And thanks to you. When I suggested taking on his name, you were the first to back me.
When you get to the point
And
where
if
it's
you
like the
hadn't,
monster you avoided in Tears.
no one else would have. I couldn't have done
Yeah,
any of this
exactly.
without you, Otto.
Yo, give over. You're making me blush. All I did.
Although I do have some good news for you, though, Pebbles.
Over despair. I gave you a chance. Yes. But you're the one who took it. You took a rabble of homeless, hopeless outcasts.
Once I beat Final Fantasy mode on this, the next game on my docket is Ragnarok.
Sid did.
That's the next game on my docket. God of War Ragnarok. Yes, sir.
About time I was heading back, I reckon. All this scrabbling about in the sand's taken its toll on the old pins.
Let me go. Oh, should I fucked up too? Oh, I could kill you now. Yeah, exactly, right, Pika?
You can take a well-earned rest when you get there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. But I'll make sure Blackthorn gets his precious black sand before I put my feet up.
I think it's got a war like a couple months ago, and it was very cool. Yeah, I'm very excited to play Ragnarok. And the funny thing is, Pebbles, I have actually managed to avoid spoilers on that game still.
Right. Ready to go
I
home,
still
boy?
don't know the overarching story. I don't know any twists or turns. I legitimately still know nothing about God of War Ragnarok. I don't know how I've been able to manage staying away from spoilers on that game. I don't understand. I've gotten very, very lucky. Yeah, I don't get how I've been able to avoid it.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Haven't seen any spoilers either, and I was playing the game. Oh, well, there you go. That game kind of went underground. I mean, that's how most God of War games do, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
Nice to get out and about for once. Let's do it again sometime, eh?
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
It was like all this hype around it that was coming out, and then nothing. I mean, Pebbles does make a good point that Ragnarok came out at about the same time that Elden Ring did, and all the hype went back to Elden Ring,
Give us a shout if you
and
need
it's still
anything.
kind of on Elden Ring. Alright, back to mid.
I went up to give some greens to the
It
chocolate.
dropped everyone was playing, and then silence, like a ghost leaving the room. Yeah, kind of, yeah. But I mean, that's honestly how most God of War games were, though. Like, it was popular for about, like, the first 3-4 months that it was out, and then it went silent again.
Editors started
It's just
doing-
unfortunately how God of War is. It doesn't really have that much replayability. Like, once you kind of play God of War, it kind of is done. Like, at least with this, it has a new game plus mode where, like, the enemies change, so everything's a lot stronger, there's more side quests, all that kind of stuff.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So,
I think if I
What's
told
next?
people their brain
Helm, of
is
course.
on a photo...
For this,
I
we'll
don't
be
think so, Moogle.
repurposing fallen scrap.
salvage from the ruins. I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
I'm so glad that you're learning your engineers' names.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess
And as
heat
you
is
know,
dealt
common,
with by
no,
means of
common
the
sense is
thermal
not a blessing,
displacement
it's a
stack,
curse.
which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where
Thank
the
you
helm
for putting
comes
it
in.
into
It
easy
connects
terms
to
for
the
my
plating,
peanut-sized
you
brain
see,
to understand.
and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why? If sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing.
I was just
The
there.
thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
Ah.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Oh, it's nice to know that people don't think ahead. Yeah, it's essentially New Game Plus, Pebbles. You're right. It is New Game Plus. But I appreciate the lurk, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Common sense works on the presumption that the thing that is obvious to do not do is in fact the obvious thing that everyone would exactly. I need to make for Lorbert's Pass. There's my way up. Fortunately, people's brains are never that predictable or constant. Unfortunately, not. But what are you gonna do?
If you're ready, we leave at once.
Unfortunately, it is never that easy. Pika hurts my brain sometimes. Moogle isn't that smart. It's fine, Moogle. I understand. I am not the smartest either. I am not the smartest dragon in the shed. Arvent Valley. Alright, let's go. Over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house we go. Thank you for the kill. Hello, Widow. You guys are not worth my time, unfortunately, anymore, because you're level 47. I can't gain, really, anything experience-wise from you. There's your first problem. You are in a shed, not a cave. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Wait. Oh, that's right. It's... Really? Leave me alone. Leave me alone, you fiends. Thank you, Ambrosia.
There you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
Always have to do work for people. Just because you think it's the obvious thing to do. Yeah. That's pretty much how it is, though.
Anybody home?
It's so weird that Clives go by Sid now. Well, he's bringing honor to Sid's original name. Oh, hello, Airman.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Take this and be in the dirt. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Nice try. Too slow.
Go to sleep. Yoink, 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 yoink. I'm not gonna worry about hitting it with my major damage just yet. Take that. Oh, my gouge wasn't off cooldown. Sit. There we go. Judgment. Zapton Zuken. And Giga Flare. Sid is more of a title. I thought Sid wasn't Sid. Yeah, kind of. Take that.
Nice try. Nice try.
Sit down for a second. Ah, finally hit me with that. Goodbye. I have no idea. I missed most of the plot last time. I caught this. Sid was alive and Durgan had just... Yeah, so essentially, to kind of fill in your gaps on that, Pika, we went to go knock out the first Mother Crystal, and
Shouldn't have any trouble now.
as we did that, Ultima basically came and started revealing his grand plot. Tried to get us to turn. Sid used his abilities to try and stop him, but he inevitably got hurt by a entity that Ultima had summoned by the name of Typhon, which essentially had hurt Ramuh to the point where it almost couldn't heal Sid, and Sid was just slowly dying. Thus, after we beat back Ultima, Sid gave us his Ramuh power and he died. That's why we are now walking around being called Sid, because we are essentially his living legacy. So that's kind of the reason why we're going around being called Sid, is because we're continuing Sid's mission for him, because he can't do it anymore.
We're seeing troops amassing.
It's very sad. A lot of the game director didn't think that people were gonna fall in love with Sid as much as they did. But everyone loves Sid.
Come again.
Loved his character, loved everything about the character. So a lot of people were actually very upset when he died so soon. But they're supposed to be throwing DLC into this where we do something with Leviathan, because Leviathan's the missing icon in this entire story.
Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Hippocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
I mean, I don't have anything else I'd rather be doing mid, but, you know, I guess I can play, you know, Messenger again.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Mid hasn't been.
You know, whatever you want me to do, mid. Whatever you want me to do. As I always joke with Stuffy, I'm sworn to carry your burdens. So further your own goals are... Yes, I know, I'm just giving her a hard time, Pika.
Hippocrates, do you have the moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Yes, take a look at these thermal shields.
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine. At timber and steel
Easy on Miss
alike.
doing her best. I know.
And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of... pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Well, I mean, we always go on journeys with Jill, so we're gonna go with Tara. Because Tara doesn't
Well,
get to leave this area.
Have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Tara. You're with me.
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic. Conch shells. Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Stay
Oh,
safe.
look at that.
I'll see you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
Sorry, Jill. You always get to go with me on adventures. Tyra doesn't get to leave, so she's coming with me. Ow.
No.
Hit my keyboard.
Where's Talia?
Now, what's supposed to be new in
And
this
what can I
shop?
do for you?
Nothing. Doesn't look like anything.
Come back again.
I don't think I will.
Need to stock up on these.
There you are, Talia.
Ah, and there you are. We shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What shall I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate when you've got them.
I'm looking for garlic.
Buy, sell, or be gone.
Thank you.
Thanks for nothing.
Hey, I just gave you 20 gil, man. You should be happy.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine.
Can I give you more money? You seem like a nice individual.
That should do it. Hopefully Talia's finished too.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin.
Well, did you find everything?
I did. Here.
There's the garlic. There's the nuts.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting. But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat.
Oh. What would you like to discuss?
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
She wants to talk about your Chocobo's extended warranty.
In a good way, of course.
I think she might be trying to flirt, actually.
Thank you. Taya.
For what?
for everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us.
I genuinely can't tell. I don't have social skills for this. Nah, she wasn't really trying to flirt, honestly.
Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tome so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
All right. And now, go back home. We just go back home.
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
The moon dew. Oh, Hippocrates.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates.
Thanks, Grandpa. Another 1,000. We need another 2,000 to be able to master Dancing Steel to get that back on track.
I better go and give Mid.
And then probably once we do that, we'll actually get rid of Gungnir to put Dancing Steel back on.